Mine is a reaction, is a comment, is an address to KANJA, the Inspector General of the Police. First of all, he's my village mate. Our half of the constituency is lucky. It was lucky. We still didn't lose everything. We had a very senior position, but the occupier misbehaved and was impeached. He's our neighbor. We also had the military. The head of the military is just from there. So Madira West occupies, heads, first of all, the internal security, and also Madira West also heads the defense, DOD, Department of Defense. Or nowadays it's called the Ministry of Defense. Coincidentally, at Kayaba, the clan that I'm closely related to is called KANJA. So, Mr. IGP, my clan is named after you, KANJA. Just ask about KANJA at Kayaba. You'll find that we are very many. We occupy one side of the road. You are a very competent person. So that because iswe tumete masera mage somo, no. You are very competent. I'm very sure journalists, when they interview you, they are really impressed. You answer things in a very mature way. You answer things in a very mature way, and you address law and order. The person you replaced would have been a very good commandant of the military police. Whenever he talked, he felt that to be honored, you have to look strict and whatever. And you, KANJA, you spend a lot of your time in the GSU, but you behave more like an NIS person. And that one is a lot of marks to you. You have, below you are 4 very competent generals. We are very 4 competent generals. One could never hope for better deputy inspector generals than the ones you have. You know, there are times when you can be very competent and the 3 after you are very incompetent, or vice versa. But in this case, the in charge, who is you, is very competent, and those below you, they are very competent. Very competent because if one has 87, the lowest, and the highest has 92, then they're in the same range. Someone once told me that if you are to place professors of mathematics together and you gave them a maths test, they'll not score the same. One will get better than the other. So you have 3 very competent deputies. Look at the fellow in charge of GD. He makes journalists or those around him feel an air of relaxation, an air of goodness within him. You have a competent director in the DCI, a person who politely talks to press conferences and so on. The AP, Deputy Inspector General of AP, is very unique. Because if you look at the history of AP since formation, it has been headed, apart from once Major Muya, all other heads of the AP, both at the college and the rank that was later created, that AP Force Commandant, they were provincial administration, DOs and DCs and PCs. Apart from one who was a military man, Major Muya. But it is now for the first time that we are having a career AP. And this career AP did not start off from as a cadet inspector. No. He was not even a special, so as a special inspectorate course like me. This is somebody who started off as a recruit, a person who knows how life of an AP constable feels, an AP NCO feels. He also is somebody who knows how officers from the rank of inspector upwards do feel it. The only time he messed was the time when he was the acting inspector general police. But that one is understood because it will take time to make the administration police be a police service. They still have the provincial administration hangover. It is quite unfortunate to find that a whole acting inspector general police is led in reading, in swearing in the court, because in the court we even recruits are taught to say, I do swear that the evidence that I shall give before this court matters touching on before this court shall be the truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. That one, he had to be led. Two, he was so confused in the dock that any question he was being asked, there were several lawyers who were telling him what to say, until there was a lawyer who was complaining that it seems as if he's cross-examining other lawyers. But generally, he's a good person heading the AP. Maybe I was one of the people who believed that the next IGP should be from the AP. But anyway, maybe the one after that, because you can see how that one has been. It is unfortunate that our village mate, Gashagwa, has just come in. You know, anybody who wants to speak, they say that politicians, when they see microphone, they want to speak, even when they don't have something to say. Now he is coming up and maybe trying to justify what the kids are doing. But you see, in as much as Gashagwa and anybody else should condemn uh, this abduction, he should at the same time, advise the youths against. In African society, it is really very bad to imagine the death of somebody else. And we will come to that, but it is unfortunate for him to talk as if the youth, and he was saying that the youth were being used to expand their intellectual capability. That even a pickpocket is extending his own intellectual capability, the ability to move without being heard, and the ability to place his hands into your pocket and take your wallet or telephone without you hearing. That is a very clever thing. But you see, it's a very clever thing doing the wrong thing. So even in the systems, even in the instances of kids using their artistic value to use the AI to generate images and whatever, those things have got to. Gashagwa should know that the freedom, well, he's a few years younger than me, and they say that we were being taught when we were doing our Form 4 or even Form 5 debates, we used to be told that freedom is not obsolete. We were being told that freedom is a paradox. We are also told that your freedom, where it ends is where somebody else starts. You cannot everybody do everything. You are free to do anything. You are free to say anything, so long as your freedom does not interfere with the other. It is just like me standing up and saying very unprintable things about you, and then when I'm asked, I say that I have the freedom of expression. No, the freedom of expression comes with the responsibilities. It is true that those who were arrested, you are telling the truth. It is true when you say that they were not arrested by the police. It is true. That is a fact. Since all the places that have been checked, there is no single police cell that these people have been found. But if we look at the three Kitengela people, in fact, one of is it two or even the three, talked about it yesterday after you had talked. Uh, they talked about the abduction. So even they themselves, they made the description which says that it is not members of the National Police Service. Uh, so you are right. But then the more things change, the more things remain the same. Actually, it is even coming to be seen that to some extent, and I'm really talking this with a lot of restraint, is that we are now trying to show that even Nyayo House was better. Although, as an expert, I will tell you that what the Kitengela 3 went through is not even a fraction of Nyayo House, but at least Nyayo House was somewhere central, somewhere known, somewhere where people are known where they had gone. But now they are being taken to places where they do not know. And you can even see that after they were released, one of them even went to Tigoni police station to report that he has been back. And the intention of these abductors, Bwana IGP, is just simple. It's just very simple. I want to believe, are they four? Three or four, you boys? I want to believe that 1 week from today, or even 1 month from today, when we find them, you'll find that they are safe and fine. I don't see any one of them having what do you call lifelong physical disabilities. I don't see that. I'm not even seeing any one of them die. But the intention of these abductors is to put a lot of scare in them. You can see that even the time when these Kitengela 3 were, resurfaced, they were saying that we are back and we are safe, but we don't want to say anything, whatever. So yesterday, Boxing Day, they came and said that the reason why they did not speak, is that they were told if you say what happened and where you were, you'll come back here. So they are, as of now, all indications are that these people are, the intention is to place a lot of fear in those people's heart. We seem to be going back to, okay, up to now, apart from the quarry issue, uh, we seem to be headed to River Yala, but as of now, I think the intention is just to put the fear of the Lord into those people. This thing, I'm addressing you, Mr. Kanja, a person from Barea Kanja. I'm addressing you because this thing is going to be counterproductive to you, not just to you as the IGP. It is going to be counterproductive to the police, National Police Service, and even to the country. Because obviously we have cases where police officers do arrest people and bundle them. These things have been there for as long as the Kenya police uh, force was there, not even in service. Service came later. This thing have been going on. So it seems that in the future, you see, you don't have to arrest a person while in uniform. He'll see you from a kilometer away, but then mixing with the people and then ambushing the person still is a very good way of arresting people. But then it is going to happen that a normal crime branch person, a normal crime branch person from any police station anywhere, when he does that, he will be putting his life in danger. He may have gone there while he had forgotten his ID, or he may produce his ID, but the mob would just snatch that ID and throw it away, or even hide it and say that this is somebody who who came without identifying himself. So we had to lynch him. Now the abductors are not members of the National Police Service, but the members of the police service, when they want to do a swoop, is it a sweep or a swoop? They'll be putting their life in danger as from today. We are headed to a situation where we may be headed to a place where mobs will now start taking. How sure are we tomorrow that a normal gang, just a gangster, would organize his own and take people, and people would think that this is another case of abduction which has been happening? I would appeal to you to have a one-on-one talk with the Haulian fellow. This fellow from the Haulian tribe. Him and his team have gone beyond their limitation. They have gone beyond their limitation. The only problem we have, and I'm not talking to you as Bariakaja, but I'm telling you one problem we are having is that the Haulian can howl anything, can do anything, but the blame will still go to you. The problem will go to you because you will be deemed to be incompetent. Someone even said that Kenya is headed to Haiti way. You see, Haulian is trying to create a situation, and this is, I know what you are going through. I understand. I'm avoiding the word sympathizing because the Haulian, even when names are being mentioned, they mention the director of DCI, director of criminal investigation. They talk about you, they talk about anything, but they will never talk about this Haulian or Garden fellow. So you will be deemed to be incompetent, you as an individual and you as the National Police Service, because Kenya will be seen that anybody can kidnap anybody anytime. I want also to remind you of a tactic, not you, but I want to tell you so that you remind the Ogaden fellow that Patrick Shaw used to use this system. Patrick Shaw, the police reservist, he used to carry a lot of intelligence. He used to carry a lot of intelligence on kids who are in okay, Kizungu inapotea. Enviable, opposite of any enviable, an enviable situation. He would carry out intelligence. He would know that this kid is from such and such a place. He would drive to his home area and talk to the mother. Nature has it that male gangsters male gangsters do fear their biological mother. Or if it is not if their biological mother died when they were young, because there are those whose mothers died when they were very young. If such a person was brought up by a sister to his biological mother, that is somebody who can tell that person, that man, anything. His mother or his mother's sister, who is also in African language, his mother. Patrick Shaw used to go meet those people, talk to them. We have very good intelligence. We have very good intelligence. We can send people to go and talk to the parents. Remember that parent who was crying from somewhere in Central. I don't know whether is it Kirinyaga or Embu, who was crying, was saying that, please bring my son. Me, I'm not in the social media, so I don't know what is recorded in the social media. But allow me to talk to my boy. Just bring the boy to me. I'll talk to him, and I know him. He will listen to me. You see, if we use the Patrick Shaw system, we could send people to talk to the parents or people influential. Other people who can influence youths are grandparents also. But I've noticed something unique about today's youth. Um, they are the first of all, today's youths who have gone haywire. During our days, youths who had gone haywire used to be boys only. But nowadays, the youths of today who have gone haywire include a few girls. We also passed through what you're passing through. We also used to tell our elders that ile wakati yenyu ilipita or whatever. But I'm very sure that 85% of the youths, if we had to use the patriarchal way, they would listen. They will listen. But I still believe that the best way of handling that, I've seen those pictures and I really feel bad. I really feel bad. Not only do I feel bad, I feel annoyed. But I still believe ignoring them would be the best thing. Ignoring them would be the best thing. They called the president Zakayo. He accepted the name Zakayo. They got tired. They called him Kasongo. He accepted Kasongo. They moved on. But when it came to these pictures of generated, is what annoyed those people who are doing that. But if, as painful as it is, because even I myself felt bad. I even felt bad, although I also felt good because in a debate, I am a believer that once somebody deviates from the topic at hand, if you have issues that you don't like about Ruto or his government, bring them up, debate them. But when you start talking things which are abusive, ill-intended, and whatever, then to me, a part of me becomes happy because it shows me that you have no point to say. You have just trying to create such a situation so that you are arrested or you are hurt or you are harmed, you are whatever. What for? If you have issues with Ruto, just tell him. Look at my videos. There are those videos I've recorded where I've said, in case he gets it or whatever, I've said, I'm not happy here, I'm not happy. Just say that. It is really very bad in African society to wish anybody death. But as I can tell you, Kanja, to tell the Ogaden Haulian fellow, is that the best way is to ignore these people, to ignore them. But if really touched very much, then arrest them. And you have seen uh, the more you kidnap them, the more they even bring bad pictures related to the subject. And you just under huyu mtoto, but then you can say as that. There is another thing that is very hard in the world to do. You know, as I've said before, it is really hard to reason with a kamikaze. With a kamikaze. Kamikaze is somebody who is ready to die because he'd rather die and become famous. Say that this is the person who was found in River Yala in the Uhuru government. They would prefer to be told that they were to be known while dead as people who were found in than live life unknown. Ignoring them would let the issues go away. Ignoring them would be like, I mean, you know, I have seen this mischievous generation. Yeah, I think that is the best terminology we should have them. These are the mischievous generation. I think, Mr. Kanja, when you meet the Haulian Ogaden, just tell him to ignore the mischievous generation. But if the feeling is so strong, have 2 or 3 in jail. After all, what will the human rights people do? Somebody has generated such a thing. Use the CRIB, Crime Research and Intelligence Bureau of the DCI. Identify the person who has generated that picture. After identifying him, take him to court. Let him be jailed. I can tell you, you jail 20 of them through the normal, they will they will get the point. Or even these human rights people who are, human rights people are very funny. And I've always seen it from the perspective of a former police officer. Anything can happen to a serving police officer. You'll never hear a human rights activist complaining. But once the police officer tries to react a bit, then there's even some, I even asked them, you are a human rights activist. Don't you think police officers are also human? Said no, police officers are trained. Police officers are trained to persevere such conditions. But then I would also say that in the primary school, we were taught something that asiyefunzwa na wazazi wake hufunzwa na dunia. So if Mr. Kanja, you just tell your friend there, the Ogaden Haulian, that he should keep off, especially now that he's doing all the dirty things and the blame is going to you. And especially now, it's just like a football club. You have the best team. Hmm? There's even a time when Harambee Stars had players, out of the 11 starting players, 8 would come from one football team, or even 10 would come from two, AFC and Gor Mahia. If teams are good and whatever, let them play. Let the National Police Service handle things. Let whoever does anything. Misuse of cyber does not, these young people do not know. They want the president to be the person to complain. But misuse of cyber, what do you call? Misuse of cyber and such things, such laws do not need a complainant. You have just to prove that this is he or she went into the cyberspace, and produced such a thing. So he or she misused a communication gadget. Yeah, that is the word I was looking for. He or she misused a communication gadget and came up with such a thing. And in court of law, even the human rights people will just, I'm telling the Miseveve generation, that if you are charged with such things, the human rights organization will only be out to confirm that the rule of law was followed to the letter.